All systems go, Captain. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, guess what? It's Thursday. We are almost through the week, but back again for another dope interview and a dope episode of Blerdseyeview. I'm your man on the wall, Chris Fury. Thank you for tuning in. For those who are new here, show your love on the YouTube channel and everywhere you can find us, including Always Press Record and everywhere you listen to your podcasts. Also, thank you for all those who are supporting us through the YouTube channel with the donations and the super users and all that great stuff. We really appreciate it. This helps us get new equipment, get to cons, what have you. Continue your support. Merch will be coming soon. That is something that's definitely being worked on. But without further ado, let's get this thing started. Whoop-dee, what's going on?
Hello.
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday. 2 more days, and then it'll be Monday quicker than I wanted to be.
I'm not calling Monday. I'm not calling Monday. Grio the Horror, Lainey, how you doing?
Hi.
Sound.
I'm not muted. I'm good. Hey.
It was a slight delay for a hot second. No, it was just a slight delay for a hot second. Just a hot second.
What's
but you're good. You're good. What's happening, Lainey?
I'm good. Like she said, it's Thursday. I affectionately call it Friday Eve.
I thought I was the only one.
Absolutely not.
The cinematic assassin is in the building. We'll be watching what's going on.
Shout out to our next door neighbor Jaden, new subscriber to the show, and came through with the lawnmower. So we was down bad. We was looking raggedy. We was about to get a letter from the city. My man, salute to you.
Salute to the neighbors looking out for each other. And that's what we need right now. We got a special guest with us tonight. Tatiana Obey is in the building. She's here to talk about Sister Sci-Fi. Woo! I'm looking forward to this. What's going on, Tatiana?
Hello.
First off, I want to give you what I want to do right now is give you the proper flowers because And this is just one of them. So, what's going on?
Oh, it's all good. Glad to be here to talk about what I got going on, because the hardest thing about being an indie author is letting people know about you.
That.
So yeah, my name is Tatiana. Last name is OB, even though it's spelled Obey. It's look kind of confusing. But I write badass characters slaying dragons. So I'm firmly very much in the fantasy genre. I grew up on fantasy. I grew up on anime, and that is what I want to see. I want to see more Black women specifically slaying dragons and getting they dues. So that is what I'm here to write.
I'm glad you said that, because this project you have, Sister Sci-Fi, and I'll bring that up in a second, is something much needed. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
What is this book about? Because I was looking over your site and I'm like, oh, it's not the only one, and I love it. Here it is, Sister Samurai.
Yes, Sister Samurai is a Champloo novella. So if anyone knows what Champloo means, it's from Samurai Champloo. It's from the Okinawan word to mix up. So it is a fusion of Japanese and Black culture. And it kind of goes off of that, kind of those themes and that genre that kind of started in the 90s with Afro Samurai and Samurai Champloo, and even a little bit of the Boondocks in there. So I just really influential to me growing up. The book
just stole my whole heart just right there.
And the book, Sister Samurai, so it follows, it's about a Black woman samurai, and she is the last of her clan. It follows her throughout her day. So she's out running errands. She's hitting up her favorite ramen spots. And, there's just things go awry. There's demons, there's warlords. They just get in her way. She's just trying to mind her business and get home. But luckily, she has her trusty katana wakizashi with her, and they are named Fuck Around to Find Out. So they about to find out.
Let's go. Oh,
Oh my God, I'm sold. So obviously you've told you already told your inspiration, Samurai Champloo, the Boondocks, Afro Samurai. When did you start this?
I've had it as an idea in my head for a bit, like it was kind of growing for a bit, but I didn't actually start sitting down and writing it until probably about January 2023. So about last year. So I wrote it and published it all within a year because it came out later that November.
She is fast too.
I mean, it's a novella. It is short, but sometimes a lot of people ain't got a lot of attention span, and the length of this novel, because as y'all know, you might know, Afro Samurai was a mini series, so it's not a very long anime that goes on and on and on. So kind of just to honor that pacing and honor that length, it does feel like a TV episode when you're reading it. Like it does feel like a full episode. But yeah, like I grew up on anime, and so, like I grew up on anime. I came home, watched Inuyasha, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, like all the works, like
the good ones.
All the good ones, probably some bad ones too in there. But and I think when I was younger, I didn't really understand or what anime really was. You just know that this is different. Like it's not the white folks cartoons. It's different. But at the same time, you also didn't really see a lot of us in these shows. Mm-hmm. And I think the first time I had seen a Black character, to be honest, was just me, was probably Jet in Cowboy Bebop, because he had a Black voice actor. So I heard a Black man, and I'm like, oh, that's just a light-skinned Black man. But when the cast, like when they started casting and stuff, and they, because they were talking about it a couple of years before the Netflix show, and they started casting, everyone was talking about all these white actors. I was like, what are they talking about? I don't understand. Like, is it just me? Was it just me? No. But I think Afro Samurai was the first anime that I had seen where it's an unambiguous, unapologetic Black main character, and he out here just killing dudes, and I'm just like, oh, this is cool. This is it.
The selling point for Afro Samurai was not just it was an anime and it had the starring as a Black person, but that black person was voiced by Sam Jackson.
Yes.
So it was just like, oh, you just got the best of both worlds. You ain't gonna have no choice but to watch and enjoy this one.
Yes, and he's out here voicing 2 characters.
Right.
Oh, it was, yeah, it's like it still like sticks in my memory. But one of the things about the anime is being a black girl nerd growing up, there wasn't a lot of, this was the show, but where were the black women in it? Like there was like one, I think later on in Resurrections, she had like one line, nothing to do with the plot. And so I'm just like, I did. I'm pretty sure I held a grudge about that for like 10, 15
Wow.
years. So I was holding on to that grudge for this moment. I'm like, you know what? I think it's time. Because sometimes you have to wait for the moment. And I'm like, okay, I got it now. Because at this point I had I published 2 other books, and they're more fantasy heavy. So if you're like more into Game of Thrones and stuff like that, those are those books. But this was very specifically
speaking to the choir. Yeah. You're preaching.
And so at that time I was like, okay, I know I can write action scenes. I know I can write characters. Like I love anime. I know my samurai media. And, I'd also studied Japanese for 4 years. I've lived in Asia, studied abroad in Asia. I'm like, okay, all right. If anyone can do this, it's going to have to be me, because I would be pissed if someone else did it and they did it wrong. So I'm like, okay.
See, this is how you brag without bragging, y'all. This is how you brag without bragging.
She's definitely immersed. That's for sure.
So I mean, that's what makes X-Men so good, because you can tell it's written by someone who cares. And that's what I wanted.
That part.
That's what I wanted. I wanted a black lady samurai, and I wanted it to be done right. So yes, her swords are named "Fuck Around and Find Out." Like there is one part in the book where it's just her and a whole army, and she cuts all of them niggas down, all of them, and that's it. That's all I wanted. That is all I wanted. And I'm like, you know what? It's not out there, so I guess I'm gonna have to do it myself.
I mean, and I'm glad. See, this is what I love about doing this type of stuff and having this platform, because we get to speak to women like you who just like, you know what, I need to step out basically on faith, because if I need to have this story told, I have to be the one to tell it, and I think what happens now is it's becoming more apparent in the blurred community that it's time for us to tell the stories we want to tell. Because we can't really count on anybody else to really come forth with it. And so, even with the 2 big houses, always, yes, we have Storm, we have Bishop, we have John Stewart, we have all these, we have Dixon, we have a ton of black characters in both of these houses, but the constant conversation that comes up is, when is this person going to get their shine? When are they going to stop getting put to the backside, which is, once again, when we talk about it later, but X-Men 97 is a perfect example. Shout out to Miss Smith, Allison Smith, for voicing Storm. It's been it was amazing in the 90s. It's amazing now. But another conversation that comes up is, like you said, telling a story about a black woman. And I think the conversation that comes up now is it best to have people of that nationality, of that race, to tell that story respectfully from their point of view, or is it okay when someone who doesn't come from that nationality or doesn't come from that race or background tell that story, but once again, at least do the due diligence to discover that character and help them have that character have those traits. What do you think about those?
I can kind of come from my experience specifically in publishing, because as you know, there's kind of the trad route and there's the indie route. And, a lot of people think that indie authors, they're the ones that were rejected by trad. That's not entirely true. I specifically chose indie because I know the stories that I wanted to tell, trad would not be interested or even would not know how to market it. And so there is and because I'm in this space, because I'm in this indie space, in trad pub, you'll only have space for maybe one author that season, one black author that season, or they're competing against each other for marketing dollars. There's competition between their spaces. So in indie, you don't get that competition with spaces. So oftentimes you do see other indie authors writing different people of color, trying to add diversity in it. And personally, I've seen it go wrong. Honestly, I think out of the media that I've consumed, when it's written by a white author of a different, and they're trying to write a different nationality, I would probably say 70% get it wrong, and maybe like a small 30% do their due diligence. But there is nothing like us telling our own stories. Like there are certain narratives that they shouldn't be able to touch. Like they shouldn't be able to, I don't even think they can conceive of it, because this book has been out since maybe November. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, there's a lot of Easter eggs in this book. And I can't control who pick up the book. There are some people who pick up the book. But in the dedication at the beginning of the book, it says, "To my fam, welcome home. To everybody else, you are a guest in this house, mind your manners."
Love it. Let's go.
I mean, people who are trying to critique it, there are some things they're not going to catch. There are some things that, is for us. Like I specifically wrote this for us and to tell our story and to tell our narrative. It's also in big conversation with Afro Samurai, to have the men sidelined. This is us. And, I don't want to spoil the book, but even in the small things I did. So for example, in Afro Samurai, you have the number one headband, right? And the number one headband, I hope this audience knows a little bit about it, but you are, his daddy dies at the beginning. This is not a spoiler. It happens in like the first episode, and he has to compete for the number one headband so he can get the person who didn't kill his daddy. But I was very intentional in this book in saying, like, how would this story look for us? How would what would the headband, our symbol of the headband, look like? So, for example, I have the Sister Samurai headband, and this is the Sister Samurai headband to bring us together. Like, this is our formation. This is us, together, instead of a headband that divides us. So even just really playing on like those different things, and I can't see someone who don't get it coming in and like, nah, fam, nah.
I like this whole vibe. Oh God, I love this whole vibe. Whoopty, question?
Yeah. I was taking a look at your website, and you seem to love and cherish and honor badass Black women. And I was wondering, are you drawing inspiration for where you want to see, how you want to see us, or are there actual badass Black women in your life that you draw from for your inspiration?
Oh, 100%. Like there is quite a bit of my mama in Sister Samurai. And one of the things is I definitely wanted to capture kind of just the everyday folk around me who are my heroes. And, that's my mom, my aunt, my grandma. Like, I want to see them slaying demons. I want to see them out. So the main character in the book is like she's 40 years old. She is tired, and to me, it's a metaphor, and it shows like the way I see my mom, the way she protected us every day, the way she made it home every day and did what she had to do. And I'm just like, I don't understand. I see this every day. Why is it not in our fiction?
Facts.
We need that. Lainey.
So my question that I had from the beginning, before you actually answered it, because I was gonna say, well, half of it. Because one was what made you fall in love with fantasy, but I feel like you answered that. But just in case if it wasn't like Afro Samurai, like then that would be a part of it. And how is that manifested in your work?
I think it definitely has had an effect on my storytelling, and I just grew up very drawn to it. Even like my mom, she was a big Lord of the Rings fan, and my dad, he was a big kung fu action fan. But you know, even sometimes when like parents try to get their kids into things, and you can kind of tell when a kid gets checked out, no, they're not into it. But like I was into it. Like it's inspired me to take several martial arts. So like I have done martial arts, and I think just in regards to like how it's inspired me, my storytelling, like I grew up on it. And like, I know one of my favorite animes is, for example, like Rurouni Kenshin or Cowboy Bebop. And like kind of just that melancholic tone, like that's definitely in Sister Samurai. Or for example, in my previous books, the fantasy books, again, I was inspired. I was like, man, I ain't seen no female rivals. You know, I really want female rivals because like you have Goku versus Vegeta, Sasuke versus, you know, Naruto, Bakugo versus Midoriya. Where are my female rivals? So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna write it. So that inspired my whole first book.
I love this.
So it definitely like inspires how I approach writing.
I do actually have a follow-up question.
Go ahead.
As you should.
If based on what you just said, if there was a famous woman in fiction that you can get a hold of and change in your mode, who would you get, and how would you execute that?
Man, I ain't even thought about this question before. Like as Chris Fury had said, like even there's a lot of women in comic books that haven't gotten their due. I mean, I would love to get big enough to tackle, like to write for some of those women. But yeah. I can't think of anything specific right now. I'm gonna come back to it.
Okay. So
great, Lainey. You shorted or circuited her. We didn't even got a chance to chat with her.
I'm gonna give her. I'll give her a chance. I'll give her a chance to recover.
I'm always the quiet one on the questions, but like,
oh no, you're the dangerous one. Nah, see, see.
She's been talking to Lady Mandalore before the show.
Right, yo, they've been consorting. It's like, girl, we need to throw a question at her.
So before I get to the guys, let me tell you what the accolades that Sister Samurai has already attained. 2023 Indie Fantasy Fun Service Grant recipient, #1 Amazon new release, 2023 Indie Inc. Award finalist for Black representation, prettiest book interior, this book made me hungry/thirsty, and 2024 Indieverse Award nominee for Best Novella. You, my dear, are already putting them to shame. So yeah, are we looking to get this book? Oh, you better believe it.
Oh, I am.
Oh, okay.
Got it in the cart.
I'm on the site right now. Ooh.
Right, I'm on the site right now trying to figure out.
We support our people over here.
Hardcover is very popular and it's very pretty.
It is. It's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
So Cinematic Assassin question.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's no one in our lovely audience, but a lot of times we hear from our female authors, female people just in the blurred space about the male gatekeepers, especially around terms of like anime. Have you had to run into any of that as you're just out promoting yourself, promoting your work, and talking about your inspirations, and people sort of just trying to pull your card of like, oh no, well, tell me what Vegeta was doing in this episode.
Yes, like I have definitely gotten it all my life. What's your top 3 anime? And it can't be Dragon Ball Z. And even like
the basement virgins. Yeah,
and even as like I market the book, and when I kind of first announced the book, you can kind of definitely see the doubters. They're like, oh, who is this Black girl saying that she can write action scenes? Like, who is she? What would she know about Afro Samurai? Like, it's just, and I just be like, and then they read it and they shut up, and I'm like, see, that's what I said. And not only that, but it definitely contributes to the point of the book. Like the whole point of the book is this space, like this novella, this is our time. This is our time to shine. Like this is our time to be in sisterhood and communication with each other. And y'all just watch on the side chats. Y'all just watch on the sidelines and cheer us on.
Well,
Ooh, follow-up question.
Yes.
Now, this might not be you because I'm kind of a bad person and petty, but like if I was in those conversations and like I had the opportunity to just completely like LeBron James dunk on somebody because they were trying to pull, have you had the opportunity? You may not have taken it, but have you had the opportunity to just completely dunk on somebody? And if you would like to share said instance, I'd love to hear it.
No, I have not had the opportunity yet. And I think mostly because people have been respectful in my face. Internet stuff, I don't bother with, like small reviews, small comments. I ain't got the energy for that. I'm writing books. But everyone thus far has been very respectful in my face. Yes.
She's saying y'all write rhymes. She writes checks. That's what she's saying. So go touch some grass. Tafari.
So whereabouts in Asia have you lived? And did you study your martial arts in Asia?
Yes, actually I did. Okay, so I took a random Taekwondo class. Like, I don't know what it was. I think my one of the teachers knew an uncle, knew a person that can come into our little hood school with these Black kids and do a class of Taekwondo after school. And that is what got me hooked on martial arts. And it was in elementary school. Unfortunately, I've never really been consistent with it simply because I haven't always had the money for it. Martial arts here in America can often be very expensive. But like I have done like Taekwondo, I've done karate, I've done judo, I've done fencing, I've done aikido, and when I was teaching English in Korea, I actually got my black belt while I was there. So that was one of my happiest, like proudest things.
Woman is a all around
Renaissance
badass.
Yeah, badass, straight up.
You still have the black belt.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
You giving Paul Robeson vibes for real.
Yeah, that.
I don't see her getting rid of that. You work hard for that. You're like, oops, I don't have it anymore. I'm sorry. Oh,
exactly.
So
like if I didn't want to leave you out here on screen for 10 minutes, I go get it. But
that's I was curious if she had it in reach, is what I meant. But if it's, you got to dig, I get it.
I enjoy
at least when it gets animated or whatever, she can do the mocap herself.
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes, like there's like some because there's a playlist in Sister Samurai because like with these type of properties, you need a playlist. Like you can't, Samurai Champloo, you can't divorce the playlist. Like Afro Samurai, you can't divorce the playlist that RZA did. You can't. So there's a playlist to Sister Samurai, and like sometimes I would hear songs and see a whole fight scene through my head, and I'm like, oh, all right, I gotta write it now.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I know you got it. Go ahead.
No, it's because what she just said. I'm looking through her site, and included in her content is the autograph title page, Sister Circle Samurais, and Sister Samurai playlist card. Like she's really giving it to us. Yeah, talk about it. Like you are about to get that. Okay.
No, and the playlist features specifically only Black women.
So before we get further in this interview, Tatiana, there's two people I'm going to get you in contact with.
Okay.
Toshi over at Midnight Comics, and over at Blurred Station, where we also do work. I'm the news director for Blurred Station because I can see this as an animated feature.
I would love it. I would love it to be an anime, like how that old adage that whenever you see an adapted property is better as a book. I'm like, well, okay, well, let me write the book first so we can get it. If people can't see it, here you go.
Because so far the projects that's lined up at Blurred Station isn't this. We got some projects, but that from a Black female perspective, yeah, that would go hard.
I mean, like I see it in my head. Like it's, it's that because the first book specifically is spring inspired, and cherry blossoms is a big motif in the show. So like I definitely see like the cherry blossoms and like like a Ankara print kimono with our black samurai just like walking through.
It's just like the promo I sent out. You got the cherry blossoms falling through. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I knew. Serendipitous much.
Which one of y'all got ninjas invading the crib?
Dave,
well, ninjas are coming. I don't have that in the first book, but they're coming.
There we go.
Navy, what you got?
Wow. First of all, you are effing amazing. Okay. This is a definition of NDA because she's gonna tell you. So nigga, don't ask. Straight up. There's no point. There's no point. So Tatiana, in your journey to create, first of all, Sister Samurai, which is beautiful visually, and I'm looking forward to it because my son's an author and I read his book, so I'm excited to see what you do. What has been the biggest obstacle for you during the course of writing this book?
I would definitely probably have to say the marketing of it, because the writing of it was actually very easy. And I think that's because for the particular project, I kind of already had everything in my head. It was just one of those things that was just like, bam, I had it. Like I knew exactly like how I wanted this book to go. So for example, in a lot of trad pub books, they're very like African inspired or like very African inspired fantasy. And I love those books, but I wanted to see more of us. Like I wanted to see more Black culture. I wanted to read that's not contemporary. I wanted to have my samurai lady, dancing a nuck if you buck if she got to. So, I mean, it was just one of those things that was just like, I had it. And like I said, I wrote this book. I probably wrote it in a month, like I revised it in another month, had it to the beta readers in another month. So I actually wrote this in 3 months, which is insane because it took my other books about 4 years. But this is definitely one that just had been in my head and was just like I knew this is something that I had to write.
This is a piece of work.
I love it.
And now your other projects that you have, Bones to the Wind and Dragging Your Bones. Let's talk about those.
Okay, all right.
These
but
are
the color remains. But the color remains. Don't forget that.
Remains, yes.
The color remains. Don't forget that.
Yes. So for those books, hold on, I have those here too. So the first one is Dragging Your Bones.
There you go.
And the second one is Bones to the Wind and Dragging Your Bones.
See, I want to be the brother that reads these in a Starbucks because I want someone to come up to me and say, "Where'd you get those books from?" Here's the plug, and that's how.
Funny.
And I'm gonna read the accolades for Bones to the Wind. 2022 BBA Award winner for Best Character Development, Best Fight Sequence, Best Antagonist. 2022 Indie Ink Award finalist and runner-up for Black representation.
Yes. So
the girl out here working.
She's a winner. Okay, stop giving her a runner-up. What's wrong with y'all?
Also, I just want to apologize real quick. I was not familiar with your game. You just pulled out two thick-ass Harry Potter-ass books. Like
you doing it right.
I told you this is.
I know.
She said it took her 4 years. Good grief. She was not playing.
Look, here's Sister Samurai for you. It's nice and short. So it ain't gonna take you very long. That one's a TV show. This one's a movie.
Okay.
Yes.
Franchise film.
Yeah, but Bones to the Wind, it's about kind of a rite of passage competition. So these two rivals are against each other in this rite of passage competition, and it's basically they have to compete to hunt down a monster and bring it back home in order to become adults. And in the way, there's windships and there's dragons and a whole bunch of shenanigans. So it's a fun book.
So here it is. Bones to the Wind, coming of age, sorcery, fantasy adventure, action packed, humorous. The novel includes strong female characters, LGBTQIA plus representation, mature themes, and is appropriate for NA and adult audience 18 and up. Y'all go The website's at the bottom. Y'all go over there and get those books. Quit playing with folks.
That part.
Damn. Y'all support us, support this sisters. Look here.
Thank you.
Because yeah, just like you said, I see one as the series and two as a movie. Because damn,
I see all three as an anime because we don't have enough pirate coming of age anime out there other than One Piece. I want to see that. I would love with the lady with the scimitar. Let's go. What you got?
Yes. Yeah. Now I would say it's probably more along the lines of like a black Conan the Barbarian instead of like
I was
One
sold
Piece.
anyway.
Okay.
But,
No, she's just out here killing stuff. Like that's basically it.
It was like I was sold before. She just doubled down on the sale. That's all it was. Oh my God, this is amazing. That once again, I love doing this platform because I get to talk to people like yourself to show their projects and talk about the meaning behind these projects, the passion for these projects, and it's just a different outlook that people are either overlooking or don't get to see for various reasons. And this is stuff we need. Like we've said it on this show plenty of times. We need stories like yours. We need to see Tatiana Obies. We need to see Ladarian Williams. We need to see these people out here, the Jason Michael Primroses. We need to see between Magic and Dreams. We need to see those people out here like putting in the work, telling these amazing stories with these beautiful, well-crafted build up for their characters, because you obviously are getting the accolades on one end, but nobody else sees it. And it's like, we need it. I'm hungry.
bringing me back to the question that Lady asked. And I think it was so difficult for me to answer that question because one, I'm very much in the anime and I'm very much in the fantasy space. And there's just not a lot of representation to even like rework a character. You have the comic book characters, you have the superheroes. But I mean, like my heart is in martial arts, it's in anime, and there's just not a lot to even rework. So it'd be like, let's do our own thing.
We need it. Questions, anybody? Everybody's checking everything. They're all in the checkout page.
We're looking at the website. That's what we doing. Yeah.
We already bought. So
who's gonna be working out in the on the Sister Samurai headband? So who's gonna be working out in the Sister Samurai headband out of all of us?
She got me. I got
As you can tell, I'm wearing headbands anyway. So guess what? Don't do it. Don't do it, sir.
I mean, I did have it made just so that I personally could cosplay it, but I was like, I guess I should share with everybody else.
Oh my God!
That shirt
so,
is amazing.
Between these three projects, do you have something else you would like to talk about? Another project that you might have working up? A sequel, maybe?
So I actually am planning 3 more installments in this series. And I decided to do 3 because, one thing that popped in my head when I lived in Japan is how seasonal it is. Coming from Texas, you just get hot and less hot.
And mad.
But, Japan is very seasonal. So I do want to do a book based on each season. So a spring book, a summer, fall, and winter. And it's going to talk about the different groups in the stories. And some of them I hadn't introduced yet, but it's going to be fun.
I like that take. That's dope as hell.
I mean, I don't know, it's just, and I think I'm also really hugely inspired by music too. Like, the Samurai Champloo end credit song, Shiki no Ura. I'm like, yes, that, in my head.
So Tatiana, this is amazing. We're getting ready to take a break. We're going to do a reaction to Mufasa, and then we're going to be talking about X-Men 97. Can you stick around?
Yes, I will. Let's go.
All right.
Better. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't got nothing else to do. You're going to hang out with us, okay? Yeah. I said what I said.
Before we go to break, here's a nice little piece, that she sent me, and I had to doctor it up a little bit with a little music. Blerd's Eye View is a proud affiliate of Otaku Noir. Use the code Blerd's Eye View for 10% off on all items. With a different nerd-themed box filled with items made by talented blerds across the country, you surely will not be disappointed. Go to otakunoir.com. Otaku Noir, the #1 blerd mystery box company.
This just in.
Feeling groggy in the morning? Coffee just can't give you that pep in the step that you're looking for? Try Pop Starts for that great get up and go that adults need. Pop Starts has the vitamin and nutrients that only grown-ups can partake in, and with flavors such as tossed salad and scrambled eggs, and Jack Daniels and Bud Light flavors to start your day or end it. There's nothing better to wake up to unless you count that depressing cubicle job. Well, anyway, try Pop Starts today. Pop Starts is not part of the Kellogg's Corporation. Pop Starts could give you diarrhea. Pop Starts are not found in your local grocery store. Ooh, I can't wait till I get my hands on this Pop Start steak and tell me that's not the last Pop Start cake, steak. Hmm? With all the vitamins and minerals that are included in Pop Starts, they still manage to bring a family together. All right, we are back. Here we go. Let's get that lined up right here with our special guest, Tatiana Obi. And
Chris recovered really well from that fight with himself, didn't he? I mean,
that wasn't me. That wasn't
bruises, everything was just fine.
that wasn't me.
Doppelgangers.
You damn scrolls. It wasn't me. I've been trying to get rid of them things off the ship since we got it.
Worldwide, ladies and
It's serious.
worldwide.
So we were able to come across a trailer this week that we weren't expecting, but you know what the hell. So it was the new Mufasa trailer coming from Disney Plus. Well, Disney period, and not really sure what they're gonna do with this one, but it is directed by Barry Jenkins. The voice cast is one hell of a voice cast. The Queen of the Beehive, Beyonce herself, and Blue Ivy will be doing voices in this as well. But Donald Glover is also on this list. But this cast looks amazing, so I said, well, we can give it a try. We're not gonna. Gosh. One thing we can't do is shoot it down. We can't shoot it down. We've seen what happened with the Marvels. We can't shoot it down. we gotta at least give it a try because it's directed by one of us. So at least let's try it out, see how it turns out. So this is the Mufasa trailer, and here we go.
This story begins far beyond the mountains and the shadows. on the other side of the light. A lion was born without a drop of nobility in his blood. A lion who would change our lives forever. Mufasa. The earth will shake. Destiny awaits you.
So, Lin-Manuel Miranda is actually he's on a hot streak when it comes to soundtracks. He's on a hot streak. I still sing Hamilton to this day. What does everybody think?
It looks good.
It does. It really does. I called this a couple years ago that I knew that Disney would start taking some of their properties and shifting them over to live action, which actually, for the most part, have been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the only one I haven't seen, and my wife has seen it, is Beauty and the Beast, but even she liked it. So I'm not opposed to it.
So is James Earl Jones not coming back for this one?
We're gonna leave James on the bench. Let that brother rest.
I mean, James signed his voice to be used and get a check from the Caribbean. That's why I'm asking. He's the only one who legally is like,
yeah, we got to protect that brother right now.
I'm not asking him to get in the booth. You gave them the rights to go ahead and do what they need to do.
But they probably will give that surprise near the end.
That's gonna say it'd be towards the end.
Yeah, it's obvious that this is the beginning of everything, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not opposed to seeing this. This does look pretty good. I would love for Disney to kind of get back into their 2D animation as well.
Mm-hmm.
That it's what built that house.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good thing. Just touch back into it, man.
Tatiana show.
That's right there.
I'm just curious about where, like, is this like Rafiki telling the story from another perspective? Because if it's a past story, why is the entire old cast coming back?
It could either be a Rafiki thing telling the story along with Mufasa telling the story, like he's telling it to his son.
Or Kiara, the daughter.
Yeah.
Maybe. I never thought Lion King would be one of the lores that are all over the place.
Barry Jenkins touched on it on Twitter, I do believe, the name Twitter, saying that the story is actually going to touch on the past, the present, and the future. So we are getting an expansive sort of timeline over the course of this film.
I like it. I'll take it.
Yes, I can see Blue Ivy voicing the daughter then.
Yeah.
The Simba has.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with it.
Who, according to Lion Guard, has a brother nobody talks about. And Scar got bit by a snake or some crazy. Like, I'm gonna need them to just clean up the timeline with this movie. That's all I'm asking.
Wow.
As long as they don't break out another Deception type song, I'm
okay with Deception. I was watching my nephew. It's like, yeah, you've had a son this whole time. I'm like, literally the redheaded stepchild. What?
No, but it does look good. It does look good.
If we're talking about music, I want to be a complete theater kid for 5 seconds. If everyone in the first movie was talking about like, oh, I can't see the expressions on the animals' faces, I don't care. Plus, it looked like they did a lot to fix that. I saw
they upped the render game a lot.
But back to music, I wanted to punch someone in the throat because for some reason they did not take Shadowland from the theater show and put it in this movie, when you have Beyonce playing Nala, it feels like the fumble of fumbles. And I just want whoever's responsible to come outside real quick. So I don't know how it works in
That's such an
this
X-Men
show,
line right now.
but
That
like,
is.
here's your opportunity to not get punched in the throat. That's all I'm saying.
We're not gonna hurt you. We just want to talk.
We just
I
want to
just
talk.
want to talk. Just
Don't worry,
watch
just come
conversation.
out on the porch.
You can still
Come
bring
on.
your food. You know,
Stop-
we'll eat and chop it
acting
up.
Scary.
Now, whether you eat the food is a different story, but you know, you can bring your food with you.
You might need a straw, but I'm just saying.
According to the Beehive, they gearing up for another soundtrack album, hopefully. And if this movie does well, regardless of her role in it, this I think technically qualifies Baby Blue for an EGOT, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's a Tony.
at best. I mean, Lin-Manuel is on this thing, and like I said, he makes some memorable music. So
Other thing, real quick. I'm writing a piece for the site that's touching on this, so I don't want to give it all away. But like, we kind of got to support this, because what's going to happen at the end of the day is someone's going to go, we gave this black man $200 million and the movie flopped. Black people bad. Like that's all it's going to translate to. We're tired of this live action universe. Like it's just going to boil down to Barry Jenkins bad, black people ill.
Yeah, we need to fix that narrative, because it may not be for some the story they wanted to see. Whatever. But don't get on Twitter, X, whatever, and bash it. Let this thing live. It's bad enough movies don't stay in the theaters long enough now as it is.
Yep, they got a 2-minute showing time, even though it's 2 hours.
When the first one came out, I worked at the Dollar Theater, and that was packed. Like, we had to stop selling tickets at one point because people just kept showing up.
Dollar Theater.
I mean, because usually, though, it's like, hey, I just want to revisit it a couple more times, or we ain't got nothing to do. That was more like it was living up to what the theater was for. You got a large family. You can't take 20 people to go see the AMC showing over there.
Yeah. I tell you who would be happy. Jason Weaver. He's got a lifetime paycheck, because what's going to happen is people are going to watch the original Lion King.
Royalties.
Shout out to his mother for negotiating that, because
that
lady was masterful in negotiating his contract to make sure that boy never is broke.
Yes. I'm sure there were other people. There were definitely other people on the other side of that piece of paper who were like, we ain't getting got like this again.
Right.
Yes, his mom was a trooper for that, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I can see this ending with like possibly a birth of Kovu, and it's like y'all had to support the first two.
There's serendipity again. You hear that? You hear
that? We are under attack. If you support the first two movies, then we'll give you a live action Deception in Lion King 2. We got to get there first.
So, Two-Face Cosplay says, is this a live action more for the adult market? I think it's more what they're doing a lot of time with a lot of these films, not just this Lion King film, but I think just in general is they're bringing back some of the old, introducing some of the new. It's similar to what we're seeing with the movies, a lot of the superhero films. Everybody loves the X-Men, everybody loves Avengers, everybody loves Thor, Loki. So you have the comic aficionados like myself, Navy, and Will, and then you have new people who's introduced to it that now want to go get the books. So it's creating a generational bridge, so to speak.
But to piggyback off what you said, Chris, and we've talked about this before, to introduce older properties to a newer audience, the writing has to be smart. It has to be done by someone who understands that your audience may not catch every nuance of a particular storyline. That's why X-Men 97 is resonating so well, because the writing is magnificent. They aren't rushing anything. They're making it so that you are looking forward to, like we say, Saturday morning cartoons, Wednesday morning before you go to work, or you're on your way to work, or you're late because of work, or you're getting chewed out because your boss was mad because you showed up late for work. You see,
or you're watching it while you're at work.
It's like that ain't cool, man. That ain't even cool.
Yeah, it's creating a good it's creating a good entry point as well as a revisit for the older generation because
Right.
For some kids, a Black Mermaid was their first Little Mermaid.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I mean, when you see
Disney,
videos,
real Jamaicans exist. I just need y'all to know that. Like, y'all could have got.
Oh my God!
Both times, y'all could have called Shaggy. I appreciate the live action for the stage play, but like, my man is right there.
Listen, that second one made me want to just run into traffic. It was so bad.
I dropped a few bumbleclots in the theater, but
I'm not even Jamaican. I'm just of Caribbean descent, and I was offended.
There are kids coming out to the lobby talking, "Mommy, what's the bumbleclot?" We will not speak of this word.
I will neither confirm nor deny this statement. I'm a pirate. But no, it's just like some of those videos you see of parents introducing Star Wars to their children for the first, and I mean the originals for the first time. And when they watch, it's a different vibe because they're just like, I've been into this 40 plus years. I want you into this now because you're seeing certain things like they have so much Star Wars property. You're seeing this now. You're seeing that now. And now you're going to have questions. And so you're like, well, here, let me sit you down. Let me sit you down and show you Blue Sun for real quick. Show you how this all was going about. And then it's gonna create narratives. But see, that's a bond for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And I think seeing Lion King like this, and once again, is directed by Barry Jenkins. The cast voice is top notch. You have a top notch person on composing and music. The only way this thing can fail is if we don't show up.
Right.
Or they don't try to promote it, which Queen Bee.
That was Tafari beat me to it.
When's it coming out?
December 20th.
December 20th. Yeah, okay.
So it's coming out at a peak time. It's coming out at a peak time.
I may have the election. We all
but I
want
to see what's coming around it too, because so that the competition is not head on.
And see, well, it's Disney.
I may have to catch y'all in January because Sonic 3.
Listen, if Disney knows how to mobilize the beehive,
right?
They just got.
You're right about that.
They just got to sprinkle some of the soundtrack just throughout the next couple months, and just a little reminder on streaming every now and then.
So we literally one person away from knowing Barry Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins.
But yeah, just because it may not be one person's cup of tea doesn't mean it doesn't have to be yours. Go show up for this thing. You have an Oscar award-winning director behind it. That's always a plus. Like I said, voice cast, that's a plus. The visuals look pretty crisp because like Tafari said, the rendering is much, much higher. And like I said, in the composing. So it's like you have all the makings of this making some really good money at a peak time of the year. It's a smart move.
My concern is I'm scared that it'll be a money grab because we've seen projects before where they've brought in stellar cast. You've got people on sound and music and everything, and then they execute it, and it's hot, bubbling garbage.
Not the good garbage.
No, we're talking dumpster wine, okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Toilet wine?
We're talking about 3-day-old wet hot pockets. That's what we're talking about here.
Oh my god!
And I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared. I'm genuinely scared because I want to support, but I don't want to be a mindless lemming to just support just anything.
Just because, yeah.
Because now they'll say, okay, well they watch this, we'll just make anything, and they'll just follow it because they have to do this. No.
I see that. 100. I say 200 at best.
A lot of the budget's got to be the cast.
It's Beyonce and her daughter, of course.
But see, I'm with you. If it was 2D animation, I think it would have kicked off a lot better because nostalgia dictates going back to where the original Lion King came from. So you have a lot of people bringing their young folk into the fold. It's like, oh my gosh, this is the animation I remember. It's a new story, but we still get animation that we remember. It's a win-win if they do it that way.
Right.
So I think here's what I'm worried about is that it's what we said it was 200 million to produce. Basically, that's not going to include marketing. That means you're gonna have to be anywhere between 600 and 700 to even make profit. Because if it's 200 to produce, we're not talking about marketing.
Yeah.
You gotta make two to 2.5 over your budget.
You probably, when you have someone like Beyonce and Donald Glover on the roster already, you know, willing to say, hey, this is what we can do to push this out there. People are gonna surround it one way or another. They're going to surround it. And I see this doing well. Especially as the time gets closer to its release. I see it doing well. Like I said, it may not be the film you were looking for, but it might be the film you need. This could be
the fact that it's all animated. It's more than less likely to get blocked for whatever restrictions they have in other countries. This is one of their more worldwide love titles that people actually have access to everywhere.
So I see them pulling a little, getting a little saucy with it. So, in other news, we're gonna do a quick breakdown of X-Men '97, Episode 8, Tolerance is Extinction. Woo! Boy, was it.
I got the goosebumps again after all this.
Thank you, Navy.
My alternate title is
Magneto. Down again.
My alternate title is Magneto and cameos because
that's what we got.
Can we give a shout out to the company? When they put the music in each of these things, they do it in such a way it elicits emotion. I don't care who you are. As soon as you hear it, yo, I get emotional. I don't care who you are. If you don't like it, that's you. Go ahead and go watch Harry Potter again.
Before we get into it,
hey. It's Harry Potter Day. Don't do that.
This was this entire series from the giddy up came out the gate unabashedly showing passion, emotion, putting the real stuff in everybody. If you are a reader of X-Men, you know what I'm talking about. They will not shy away from these issues. And the writing, Tatiana said it, I said it.
It's good.
Maybe said the writing has no business.
It looks good.
Yes. I have not seen this in a long time. Like we haven't been to 30-minute shows that's good like this in a while. Sometimes anime will have 30 minutes, but they might have they might go over one plot point. Not this show. We're talking about 4-5 plot points, and not only that, but narrative, dialogue, visual. There's so much going on. It is so good.
I jokingly said, imagine we get a montage of Cable just failing over and over, and to find out that actually happened.
Nah, I don't want to see that.
But I kind of like that. I know Spider-Verse has made it cool, but I kind of got to give X-Men credit because they've been doing canon events and absolute points with the Camartage people since Days of Future Past. Because I think because of who they were attached to, no one acknowledged it. But that whole movie was basically saying whether you follow First Class or whether you follow the original franchise, they both meet here where Sentinels are just hunting everybody.
That's it. There has been in this episode,
there's so much.
Logan gets his shine. So for all you Wolverine fans out there, don't worry.
They made y'all wait on purpose.
For real. He showed his ass. But it wasn't just Wolverine doing this thing. It was Nightcrawler too.
Tail sword.
My man.
It was the entrance. It's always so happy. It's always the most godly people that it's don't make me go back to the old me. The streets keep calling my name, but I gave my life to Christ. The second he picked up that sword, is I have 6 reasons.
It was done.
No, that's that line. He was like, tell me why. She was like, lady, I got 6 reasons. And then Kurt shows up. He was like, nah, friend, 9.
And notice the first thing he did was cut her hands off because he's like, do not touch my sister or it's going to be an issue.
Oh my God.
And it's so funny because last week he was like, how could you do that? How could you kill them? And now this week he's like, oh, fuck y'all.
That's right.
It's y'all are sushi to me right now. Let's go.
Because we got Rogue and Captain Marvel doing the Spider-Man meme, the Comatose twins.
Oh man. In the fact the way Nightcrawler has been fighting, and the first thing he says, we have to get them away from my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And their team up, it was giving me Capcom. I was like, oh, that's the team up. And it looked good. And here's another piece that looked good. We never got to see this teleportation like this before.
Yep.
Him bamfing all over the place. Yo, I was getting geeked. See him going bamf, 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 bamf. Oh, let's go.
I mean, it brought my X2 vibes because I remember being excited about seeing that X2 vibe, that beginning. And I thought that was great until last week. I was like,
that locked everything in. And
I don't think I've seen the inside of a teleportation since like not Cooler's Revenge, but Cooler's Return, when he was just like, by the way, I can do that too, and just yanks Goku out of it mid-transportation. So to see Logan getting pulled into it and seeing what Nightcrawler sees every time he does it.
He looked like he wanted to throw up.
I thought he was going to.
He was hanging on. He was just like,
yeah, that was a great piece of animation there.
I've learned if you catch Bo on Twitter, he'll pretty much answer every question. I got 2 out of 3.
So here's the thing. He's been very vocal on the writing process and just giving word on what to read and look out for, because the stuff is covering everything, like Uncanny X-Men issue 304. That's the homework.
Yeah, I saw that one.
You know, which I know Navy has it because I got it. So when you see, it's like, and he's actually said it. He said during the writing process, we would write these plots out and everything else, and I would give these people books to read, storylines to check out, and use those. And I said, this is all we need. This is what it looks like when you're actually passionate about the project and you know what you're talking about. No questions asked.
Yes, do the homework.
Just do the homework.
Right, I get it. I went back and watched a couple episodes, build up a book or two.
So
the Descent episode was definitely a big factor for this one with Sinister, because one of the things I pointed out, he said he did it in like rules of 3s. So the 3 BAMPs, the 3 different fight locations, and then the 3 cameos. So 3 acts. I guess he wanted it like a 3-piece for it.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you notice, it's like Rogue and Nightcrawler, and after the whole speech about chosen family, followed by, if you notice the whole episode, when they're fighting each other, they call him Cable. Second they're in danger, he's only referred to as Nathan for the rest of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And of course, when Kurt was regaling about Mystique, I thought of her. I was like, okay, boom, boom, boom. Only thing you need to mention is Destiny.
I think
apparently go ahead.
No, I was going to say so the theory of Val Cooper, we were all wrong.
I'm still curious as to what her purpose is in all of this.
But
we weren't wrong. We just know that she's alive. That's all.
Yeah,
we know.
Yeah, that's all. That part wasn't the lie.
I just want to know what part she had to play. like, we know you're alive, but you helped at the end, but I'm still curious, why are you here?
Here's my thing.
You don't even know here.
One of my favorite villains, one of my favorite villains, which is Dr. Doom, literally says, this is a bit messy, despite what you said. And I don't want, he's just like, look, I'm not trying to be on the hit list with them. There's just certain things. Your end game sounds amazing. However,
don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Right.
Yeah. And it's just, it was something amazing. And the Summers.
Can we talk about that scene?
When you have the voice actor who does the voice of Jerry from Rick and Morty doing Cyclops, and it's so badass, you're just like, damn, Jerry grew some balls.
Wow.
He went from Jerry to Tengen right there. We'll make
But-
it flashy and blast through this cave.
I mean, if that wasn't the family trip, put on a seatbelt. It's just like,
Right.
And she made it happen. She's like, I'm not gonna
Right.
wait for you to do it. Click, click, sit your ass down.
and he's
Shout
like,
out
"Oh,
to
you got a
Jane for not
Porsche?"
passing out.
Yeah, I got a Porsche. It's got a Porsche and X2.
Did you peep the license plate though?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, what was the license plate?
Slim.
Because that's what they
Felt
call
like
them.
Oh.
It's fun.
Or they are throwing in so much lore from the comic. They are continuing to pay respect to the source material. It's brilliant. Everything about this show. I have friends of mine that live in different states, and they've all been hitting me up with the same question: Did you watch it? Did you watch it? Did you watch it? I'm like, yeah. Yo, did you see?
Oh.
Yeah. I'm going. Aren't you supposed to be at work?
Our
Nigga,
group
that's
chat,
not
our
important.
Group chat
Like,
was
wow,
quiet for
okay.
most of the morning because we were all watching it. So it was like, after I watched it, I'm like, ain't nobody. Oh, they ain't woke up yet. I watched it.
I'm so glad I live alone. I can scream and no one thinks I'm crazy. So let's go.
I like how he kind of gave Magneto that I'm very over this shit, the evil under the eye shadow that everybody gets when they're about to just have them. I've never seen somebody hit Control Alt Delete on an entire planet. That's just
right.
The
say,
fact
what?
that he did
I'm
that,
tired of this.
So hard.
Too many Sentinels. End task.
He
And
didn't
then
even wait.
And he did it
Wolverine.
with one word.
And then even
He was
with
like,
Enough.
Mhm.
that's it. Enough. Magneto, 1997.
look,
Okay.
And he is
The fact
driving
that-
it home with the, hey, we couldn't say Holocaust, but I'm gonna throw it in here as many times as possible.
man.
Because it caught me up because I'm like, I know he said to watch the Sinister origin story, which for those who don't know, Sinister is Jack the Ripper years old and created Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
But when he mentioned Mengele, I was like, I'll look it up. For those who don't know, Mengele was a 1930s Nazi scientist. So Magneto and Sinister probably know this man personally. And then people get mad at me because I'm like, so is that a mark from Sinister? Or is
He
that
said
his?
it. He was like, Sinister
was,
said it. He was like, I knew Mengele well. He could have been much more, but he ended up being a Nazi pup. And I'm like,
and then cut to Magneto with his childhood concentration camp tattoo. I thought it was a mark from Sinister, but thank you both for confirming.
no, that's
So
Magneto.
that serial number in his forum. I was like, this proves that what he lived was legitimately what he lived.
Mm-hmm. They actually got that right in the X-Men live action, the first one. They show that, that he's dealt with this type of stuff. So they're not playing. Bo's not playing with y'all. We 8 episodes in.
I just like that for all of recorded history. Anytime someplace evil pops up, Sinister's just like, that's where I need to be. Like he just walks in and just like, y'all niggas hiring, and then when he's in, it's just like, and then when he's finally settled, it's just like, nice place, nigga. Y'all not doing enough around here. Like, how do you tell Nazis they're not doing?
So did anyone else lose their mind when they went to Bastion's house and his mother was there? I'm sitting there thinking,
I was waiting for the ball to drop.
I was like that other shoe. I was waiting, and then she went click, click, click. I'm like, no.
But it was the way
mechanical
body
But it
horror.
was thank you. I was just about to say that gave me reminiscent of Japanese body horror.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like The Ring and all those girls. I was like, oh, and now we're going into Zombies 2, because to me, this was Zombies 2.0. Okay. Like if you saw all of them, I said, oh my God.
Those poor kids.
Horror.
I thought it was gonna be the kids. When the parents turned, I was like,
no. The kids looked up like
I definitely thought it was. I thought it was gonna be the baby. I really wanted
like,
to be
hi, mom. Click,
like,
click, click. You're not a mutant. Bitch, where'd you come from?
Jubilee needs to just stay out of malls, apparently.
Right. She's like, she said it. She was like, I'm sick of malls. I'm done with malls.
No.
Oh no, Jean got her shit on today.
Do her powers allow her to fly? Do her powers allow her to fly? Yes, because I was curious all this time if she can.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just she's been carrying people when she's doing it in this series.
Okay, because I'm just like, you got taught a whole Rasen Shuriken skate slide.
Oh, yeah, Jean's a badass.
Jean, yes. I mean, Jubilee.
Oh,
Jubilee.
Jubilee.
Like,
Jubilee is still in the infancy of her powers. So
right.
had that
Remember, her future self taught her the four-limbed Naruto run, basically. Yeah, you can skate on these. We're not doing that. Cool.
No, Sunspot finally grew up, and just I'm like, dude, your life is in danger. Would you wake up already?
Seeing Roberto come out like that made me really, really happy.
His mama made
I
it
just
so.
love the design.
And then really sad too, because just like you just about to say, his mama.
His mama's not.
I was just like, yeah, because the X-Men are doing enough. Like, man, we just came from finding bodies. What are we talking about?
Can we just punch his mom in the throat? I mean, really,
Double time.
She deserved that chop. I mean, we're talking a Ric Flair chop, okay? That's how I feel about it.
So Tatiana,
I mean, Julie was thinking about it.
what were you saying, man?
No, I was about to just say, speaking of mamas, I was just thoroughly disappointed in the Summers because when they were in that house and that little old lady was, let me just show you. Ma'am, first off, where the fuck did you just come from? Because how were you so quiet? We are 3 trained, like, lethal people, and you snuck up on us. Scary as hell. And then we are 3 large people that broke into your house, and you're just going to show us around? They did not have a danger radar go off in their brains at all. I was like, your caucus ass is showing. Snatch her up and get the hell out of there.
They said we're in a white neighborhood. We fine.
Call Cassidy on 10, ladies and gentlemen. Call
I think
Cassidy.
Cable was probably the only one. He was like, we'll play along. So he had some sense about him.
First of all, it was about, let me go get my stuff. That was number one. Why? But second, but you bring up a good point. I thought if anyone could do it, Jean would be able to fish out that. And the fact that she didn't even have a clue that she was with a brand new Sentinel, that was crazy to me.
That shows you how further the technology is. Yeah.
But the thing is,
another thing, because they haven't been able to pick up on it.
No,
even with Trask, they couldn't pick it up. Yeah,
Sentinel or not, ma'am, your child is drawing stuff like this, and you didn't know you were raising Brightburn over here. Like,
I mean, on top of that,
shout out to the homies at your boy Roshi, because when this scene came up, they jumped. Like the whole body thing caught them completely off guard.
Yeah, plus Bastion said it. He said we went to these chat rooms where these people felt like they were going to be ostracized and cast aside.
Yeah. If you
like Reddit.
If you read the lore, she was the only one who actually showed him any type of human compassion and any type of love. It was the outside influence that drew him into this hateful rhetoric that he now embraces. She was never a part of that.
But I was on F her anyway, because
you
didn't like the fact that Logan and Storm was together in that other timeline. That was you, woman. That was
that was his mama, the racist waiter.
So when all that happened, I'm like, oh, here we go with this fuck shit. And
I'm surprised we haven't brought Sabretooth's son back, because this was like his whole thing in the original show was basically renouncing his own heritage and mutant people.
Well,
and he is the third sibling.
Yeah.
Here we go to threes again.
Nobody talks about Great.
Neither does the plot.
Yeah. So when Bastion said, like, these people, he pretty much infects them, but then he takes them back wherever, and they have no memory.
They have no clue.
So yeah, Jean wouldn't pick up on it. If they don't have a memory of it, she ain't gonna pick up on it.
This is the worst case of plausible deniability ever. Okay.
So
Beast basically
and
saw
the best
like
case of a confundus charm.
I mean, like the show kind of sees it like at the beginning, right? Because when the clone comes, she has no memories, so that she can't, tell intent or whatnot. They don't know what to trust at first. But she went in the house and she was like, I sense a third person, but she couldn't do anything more than that. So maybe the memories, maybe that's it. Maybe that's why Jean couldn't
pick up on that last bit. They went there because they started doing cameos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, man.
So my whole thing is for the cameos, and this is the part that I couldn't get his answer on. I think all the cameos were the people that can actually feel it. Like, we watched the power go out, but some spiders can feel like the magnetic pull of the planet. Atomic Samurai is wearing a metal suit, and I don't think they knew Magneto was alive. So I think Logan felt it like in his core.
No, so this is what it is. So when they showed Lorna, this is the future. This was the future.
Her, yeah. So, I mean, as far as the 3 that were alive when Magneto did the thing.
Rachel never gets love, and she's an actual Summers kid.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Omega Red, the power went out, and that's how he was able to,
He woke
wake up.
And then
Mhm.
Silver
I thought he
Samurai.
was getting frozen though.
Pete's, which this was a great cameo. Pete's spider sense is strong enough that he senses not just danger to himself, but things that are just off. Like it feels weird,
So how does Silver
Just stand
Samurai
back
fit
up real
into
quick.
it?
He just happened to see
People
stuff.
pretty
He just
well.
happened to sense it.
Okay.
I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
mean,
if
all he
had-
is he's a clone of Cable anyway.
I
That is
wouldn't be
true.
surprised if he has some kind of sense or attachment to the suit that he feels what it feels. So
No, he's a
feeling the
clone.
entire-
He's a clone of Cable.
the fact that Magneto went to Santa's workshop and just shut shit down for the entire planet,
Didn't even wait for clothes. Just went straight up
Right.
there, recharged, and shut it all down.
and it's the fact that
Thank you,
he knew
Toshi.
he basically knew he could go to, I don't know which one was, the North or South Pole,
North.
and just like, I could have done this the whole time, just so y'all know, no more.
He said it already. He said, "Don't let me let you down." He said it. Second episode, he put it in their face. And what did they do?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else is like, so middle finger to everybody who was on a plane, train, went on life support with a pacemaker.
Right.
It's all collateral
It
damage.
be
I
like
mean,
that.
Middle finger to
he
eyes,
can,
so-
he can key it in. I mean, he can key it in. So
That man
But
became
yeah,
the deadliest EMP living. Okay.
the only thing I didn't like is when Logan said, "Well, he did it," and he was like, "What?" He's like, "Magneto declared war." I said, "No, that wasn't his fault." He told them they kidnapped this man. Bastion declared the war.
Bastion shaved him. I think
That's
was
all
the
he
key
did.
part.
He just got him ready. He just got him ready for the red carpet. That's all he did.
He's like, this is the easy part. If you put a hot rag over it and everything, I'm going, what your fantasy of you fulfilling, bro? What's up with you?
That was my thing with
Got him looking like he in Diddy's house. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yo,
that was my thing with the
Going out.
Wolverine. He was just like, yeah, Mag. I'm like, how do you don't even know he's alive, but you recognize that touch from across the planet to know that, yep, that was him. And I think whatever attachment Atomic Samurai has to that suit is probably what that and the lights going out. He definitely felt that shit.
right. Mm-hmm.
So that was Silver Samurai.
Yeah, Silver
Or
Samurai.
Silver Samurai, my bad. And then
Can we
I was
touch-
only. Oh, go ahead.
Can we touch on the one person who's not getting enough hate, according to me, in this episode? Trish
Okay.
Tilby.
Trish Tilby.
I would never.
I was gonna say something.
Trish Tilby has
I
become
can't stand her.
She has become the new Nanami meme from Jujutsu Kaisen when he was getting revenge and had the dude by his hair, but everyone turned into something else. All I see is pictures of the
Her
foot on the
second
chest with, I need to call her.
I've
Logan
never
just
had a
had
hate for hot
Logan
chocolate
had
before.
zingers all episode. He's been throwing them barbs at Scott. He's just like, I got to talk to Hank about his choice in women. It's like Jesus, and then the Cabal, like we get Baron Zemo, we get Doom.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, we not playing around.
Some people think Killmonger was in here too.
We get Striker's bitch
Yeah.
ass at one point.
I've heard that too.
But they really pulled out all the stops, and I said, oh, and even after seeing Spider-Man, I'm like, y'all really could bring the show back.
I said beginning of the season, I wouldn't be surprised if we get those 1 second cameos from the original show, and it's just a testing ground of who can we bring back first. Only thing I was shocked they didn't do was like put a spider sense on his head that he actually feels the pulse of what Magneto's doing, because that was my initial thing. I was like, oh, he can definitely feel it, because some spiders can feel that wavelength on the planet. Then second time, I'm like, okay, the lights are also going out in front of him.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think he needed to feel it. Like the lights went out everywhere. That's scary enough. Like I don't need to know why this happened.
I mean, that. But
I just know
that
something's
plus
off.
getting on-
Something's not
that
right.
plus- I mean, that plus going to a metal, someone who can sense it, to a metal person who can sense it, to a metal person who's like, I know this feeling way too personally.
The fact that they have, when he describes his utopia, and I'm like, you're enslaving mutants. This is not an utopia. You're just using mutants. That's what you're doing.
They are the backbone of the utopia that you speak of. I was like,
and I'm glad because we talked, and I'm doing a write up on Bastion for the website. I'm glad they didn't go the extremely difficult backstory of Bastion, because it was a lot. Maybe it's a lot. It's a lot. It ain't just one story arc. It's a lot.
There's some things that we will never see, but trust, if you take that trip, you're going to see some things.
You're going to be like, but how? Like, there's no way they could have translated that. It's just too much. So it was like, we're going to scale it down as much as possible to make it make sense for the story narrative. And I'm glad they did that. Because we know all comic books, especially during the 80s and 90s, they can get really convoluted on explanations, on because changing writers, over examples and everything just is too much. It's too much. We just kind of glaze over it. So when he comes back to try to explain it, you're just like, the person you're explaining to, they go cross-eyed. I'm like, yeah. I said Siege Perilous. There's only a couple people on this board that know what that means, and they're just like, wait, the what?
It's like trying to explain the English language. You drive on parkways and park on driveways. Wait, what?
You just do. So I really dug what they did with this. They didn't hold back. We got 2 episodes left.
This is one of those things that Marvel has done and Disney has put on whose replay value is immeasurable. It doesn't matter how many times you've seen it. How many of us have seen the same episode over and over and over to find Easter eggs and just to feel that vibe once again? I watched this episode twice. I'm going back in here to watch it again. Yeah. Just because.
You're right, Bama. The Clone Saga is the main example of that.
Once again, sorry, Bad Batch.
Look, everybody said it. It was like, we know, we're sorry. However,
y'all know I'm here.
This is hard competition.
You're ignoring me. Okay.
But me and Tatiana was talking about it before the show. And even Navy said it. I've said it on past episodes. The writing is fucking immaculate. It's
chef's kiss.
It's unmatched. Like, I'm waiting to see what other animated series, daytime Golden Globes, they're going to be matched up with, because this is going to an award show somewhere. It just is. And Spartan said it. He says, I think they probably rehired Bo. I think it's a switch and bait, a bait and switch. Let's fire him. Let's put that out. Let's fire him the week the show premieres. Let's get all this talk going, which has happened. Twitter's ablaze every week. Heater after heater after heater. He answers the questions. He hasn't said nothing bad. He answers all these other questions. He doesn't say why he got fired. He just answers questions pertaining to the show.
Yeah.
And then they turn it. Man,
to be fair, it doesn't take much to get Twitter heated up,
No, yeah, it's kind of a bad example, but you get what I'm saying.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it comes against competition season is probably Blue Eye Samurai, because that was also very critically acclaimed as well. So I can kind of see those two going against each other.
So there's going to be, God dog.
I would say he has toned it down in the slick tweets. The only one I saw that was kind of out there was somebody has a picture. What do they call the drawing? The final piece or something like that.
You mean his final dream?
Yeah, somebody was like, "Can we please get this like in an 8x10?" He's like, "Gotta ask Marvel. I ain't got copies of it."
Something going on.
It's weird. It's weird. Like again, as I've expressed earlier, I'm quite petty. Like I would not be up all day entertaining the fans. Like my everything would be like, Bo, did this happen? I don't know. Ask Marvel. I don't know. Ask Marvel. That's the Marvel ass niggas over there. Like
you say they would not hire you back.
At all. At all.
Because somebody put a tweet out today. They was like, well, they hired James Gunn back. And I said, that's a good point. I've been wondering about that. And I said, that's a damn good point. And we found out what James Gunn was talking about, and that was 20 years prior to before we even knew who he was. This brother here, and they're like, it's OnlyFans. No, it wasn't OnlyFans. He got rid of OnlyFans when he got hired by Disney. He got rid of that a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't that, because he's worked on Moon Knight, and I think he's worked on Endor. He's been there. So that ain't it. It's something. We're just like, y'all gotta be lying. Y'all gotta be lying, because it would have came out by now.
What if this is
just give me season 2 of Moon Knight, please? That's all I'm on.
Yes.
What if it's just a Vince McMahon level troll? Like, what if this was all just smoke and mirrors?
Right.
And then it's just like this.
It would be the wildest thing. And I'm like, y'all sons of bitches, but I ain't mad.
Breakfast Club hiring a third host.
Right.
Wow.
It was like, look, it worked for them, but we can do it cleaner. So
if they win an award, though, they need to let him be the one to walk out and accept it, and let that be his victory lap.
Yeah. God, I hope it's a smoke and mirrors trick, because it doesn't. How often does something happen to someone in the entertainment industry and you don't catch it right away, but it shows up a couple weeks down the line? Something comes up, somebody found something, like nobody found nothing. We're 2 months in, nothing at all. No traffic ticket, no jaywalking, didn't shoplift, nothing.
Off of what I said, if this is all smoke and mirrors, and like this show wins award, and that's how we find out, like Bo walks out on stage, like I add to my own situation of saying it starts tonight. That would be the icing on the cake of like, oh, they're locked in. They're giving us storylines in real life now. They're not playing anymore. Kevin Feige is a Thanos level threat again. Stop playing.
Oh, wow.
I can see it. I would love to see it. I would love to see that.
And then
Let
with
that
all
be the
the
moment.
properties I just picked up this week, I can tell you right now, this first season, it's not going to be on shelves very long. They better get ready for reprints.
Oh, Lord, no.
Because
of all the times to decide to get rid of physical media,
Walmart said, if y'all want to play around, fine, we'll sweep everything.
But it has definitely been a ride for this show. I'm actually going to watch it again, because it's not just the Easter eggs factor of it, it's just how everything plays out. Just watching Nightcrawler and Wolverine do their fight scene, and it's a lot going on, and it's to no avail, because it's these things can reform, but they're still fighting. The fact that he midair, he ain't even worried. He's just fighting midair. He's like, I've dealt with worse. I've lived over 200 years. I've dealt with worse. This is the worst of my issues. I will fight on my way down.
And then there's Kurt. It's like, I gave my life to Christ, but I still cut you.
Try Jesus. Don't try me.
Oh my gosh. Imagine that playing during a fight scene.
That is a great meme, actually. I want to find a picture of him and put that. That is a great meme.
I should have made that. Damn.
I can make it.
Still make it.
Make it. Slap the Blurds Eye View logo on there. I'm done.
There you go.
No.
But yeah, this is good, man. This show. Oh, wait till they get to the season finale and we do the full blowout show, because this show has been
therapy session.
This show has been freaking immaculate to no end.
No issues whatsoever.
So I actually have a question, because I've been trying to read about it from the non-reader point of view.
Okay.
They're saying that Genosha probably will not be done bad. They will not reverse that. Because I've always thought, because Cable being in the mix, that it's gonna happen. But the way that episode 8 happened, he's like, yo, every time I try, I can't. And this probably being an absolute, point.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's the case?
Yeah,
So
so point in time.
it's a fixed point in time, which means if this is what I'm thinking, Gambit won't stay dead in the sense that we know.
You know that was my next question.
However, there's Apocalypse, and he has 4 horsemen, and Gambit has been his horseman of death.
Because I already know. We already know.
Ooh, so that's season 2, ain't it? What?
Wait a minute, was it Gambit or was it Warren Worthington?
It was Warren Worthington.
It was Warren Worthington, yeah.
But
He was
I can see them switching that. I can see them like, we're gonna do this and tell the story. Now, do X-Men stay dead? No, they really don't. No one stays dead except for Uncle Ben. So
facts. That's an absolute point.
He did. Yeah, he ain't coming back no more.
Right.
Yeah, he did.
He has to die in order for Peter or whomever it is to go forward and become a Spidey. So that's an absolute point in my book.
And it's so funny. Speaking of which, now we talking about absolute points, even crossing Sony and Disney media, because they talked way much about that in Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, Across the Spider-Verse. So this absolute point shit is okay.
Yeah, they talk more about it in Loki too. I don't know if you've seen the TV show.
That too.
I'm glad you said, like Loki and Spider-Man have made it like more. Yeah, Loki and Spider-Man have put a big target on it, but I feel like Days of Future Past was like the first time they really showed, hey, it doesn't matter which timeline you go, we all end up here.
So I'm glad you mentioned Loki, because Bo DeMayo has stated himself he views the series as existing in its own Marvel universe adjacent to the MCU multiverse tree. His comments suggest that the existence of multiple multiverse trees outside the one created by Loki in season 2 finale. The possibility of a crossover between 97 and the MCU is hinted at through the concept of leaves from different trees mingling. He says,
mingling. Ooh.
Yeah. It exists in its own Marvel universe, as seen in episode 8, which includes cameos from many Marvel heroes and villains. However, many question whether it exists within the larger Marvel multiverse, which includes other universes like Sony's Spider-Man universe and Fox's X-Men universe. At the end of Loki 2, Loki pulls all the separate timelines together, creating a tree that links them all into one branching multiverse. But asked about 97, he's existing in this tree. He suggested that the series exists within a neighboring tree, and that sometimes leaves from one tree can mingle with another.
He's got a tree fetish. That's all that is. He's got a tree fetish. Easy. Just saying.
The same way Charles has a fetish for arriving fashionably late.
Charles Lord, Charles.
What if the Storm still isn't there? I'm like, how does Charles beat Storm? Where is she?
I'm trying to thank you. Tatiana said it before me. He came from galaxies beyond in a spaceship. She's right there.
And from what
I think she's thinking, she's like, you know what? I just need a minute. I need a minute. I just got over my own shit. I need a moment to collect.
I think they're keeping her off the board because in the first episode they showed you just how OP she is. So for her to show up and be able to just slap down everybody that's in front of her, that's too quick for, I guess, what they want to do. So they're trying to keep her.
We're not opposed to it.
It makes a lot of sense because they want the Magneto EMP scene, but I think Storm could also serve that as well. So they need to take her out the board so that we could have the Magneto scene.
Right.
Same thing.
Hopefully she's back next week.
A lot of the plot is our biggest Final Fantasy summon got nerfed. They took away our strength buff for this entire season. Also, I'd like to point out when we did the reaction in Mayhem, the first thing you said was, "Oh, look, the mansion's still standing."
No longer.
I mean, you had a good run.
Well,
It made it pretty much in the series.
Which the way Charles arrived, so if it wasn't broken, you were just gonna blast the front door anyway, because that was like awfully close to the house. And notice when he.
I mean, you're right, but I hate you.
Can you imagine buying the house and getting
like
that last payment in, and then all this takes place?
I just paid this off.
Listen,
I just paid this house off.
Mortgage.
They got money.
Boom.
They're going to big Blackbirds a month. They got money. We ain't worried.
No, they paid it with the life insurance.
They paid with it.
Dang.
And
You
now
know
it's
they-
gonna be deemed as fraud.
You know they
because
you
he's
know they
coming
you know
back.
they
Taken
loaded. They
down by
loaded.
insurance fraud, man. That's just
There you
gonna
go.
suck
It's gonna be
balls, man.
Look, Charles is loaded. He comes from money, so you know he didn't. That whole, oh, I can't push humans to that degree. I'm like, you got to fund an entire mansion, a Blackbird, jet fuel, a danger room with the highest tech. You had to sleep with an alien to get some of that tech. Yet you've been doing some things, Charles.
Brown chicken, brown cow, ladies. and gentlemen. Brown
Yeah, I got a
chicken,
few
brown
more in the
cow.
chamber. Can we notice that when he called the family group chat, he only called the smart people? Meanwhile, Hank is in a coma, and even Hank, he's just like, we got stuff to do. Get up. This Hank has lost his girl.
Hank
He watched the entire world get infected with a LimeWire virus in real time. He got immediately put to sleep.
But he got stepped on.
The fact that Cyclops lost his porch, he didn't even say nothing to his son ripping the roof off. I'm like, dude, it's a drop top. You didn't have to do that.
And
I
now
was
wait
thinking
for Hank.
about that too. He
That
didn't
would
get
have been
mad
funny
at all.
if he actually said that though. That would have been hilarious.
Like
now
that's such
wait
a
for
Logan
Hank.
thing that would do. I would expect Logan to do that.
Like,
You know what I
blap.
mean?
You know how much this
He
car
did it in
costs?
the second episode. It's like, this is his car? Shh. Now we got to wait for Hank to wake up and realize a third Blackbird and a Porsche is gone.
And Scott's is a trust fund baby. So
Also,
I hear
I-
Logan
them
just
folks
say-
ain't as broke as they not as broke as you think.
All
All
you
you,
hear
hear Logan,
more-
all you hear Logan saying, "It's in the budget, bub." That's all
It's
you
in the
gonna hear.
You know he got money hidden away. He just don't dress like it.
until the IRS come back for their life insurance. So we get it from you, we get it from Charles. Either way, we don't need that by the first.
It's gonna be one of these moves. Here, just let's go ahead and take that.
Yo, Logan
You know
been
how, you know
alive
how they
too
do.
long.
You know how they do. Just go ahead and put that right there.
You talk to my representative, Gene.
Yeah.
I got it.
What do you say, ma'am?
I said that somebody made me come to the realization Logan been alive too long not to have bread.
Oh, he got bread.
Oh,
That's-
he do.
He got bread.
You just don't care about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
he got money. He got money. He just
gotta
don't.
have like
He just likes the simple life. He's like, man, I'm not. That's
he's gotta have
Leather,
like
cigars,
Ron,
and motorcycles. There you go. Done.
he's gotta have like Ron Swanson gold buried somewhere. And he got mind wiped too many times and just forgot where he put
not
it.
Ron Swanson. He's like, that's not where I buried the gold.
Yeah, somebody's just like, imagine your entire planet gets EMP'd and then your dad comes from space and pings the family group chat. That's
Yeah, Logan just wants to have a beer in an old ratty bar, wearing plaid and jeans, but he's got money. He's got money. Hank got money. Logan got money. Charles got money.
Jubilee is broke. So you
Ju-
don't have this
they
money.
just give Jubilee money.
Jubilee is busted. Okay, they gave her a yellow raincoat and said, "Wear this."
I mean, when his dude's mama was tripping, she's like, I'm taking your son and your credit card. Let's go.
I was just like, she ain't wrong.
Retail therapy.
The fact that that he crashed in the party, and two Sentinels show up and like, we're not trying to kill him. You had your hands out
And they
ready to
believe
blast
him.
him.
That was
Yeah,
my
she
thing. Like, y'all,
yo,
Like
I
I've
was like,
seen
now
that.
y'all know diplomacy. I'm like, we just terrorized the mall. Now y'all know diplomacy.
Yeah.
if that ain't a Karen move or anything, I believe
We're
it's okay.
we're not trying to
Go
kill
with them,
you.
son.
We're trying
Go
to
with
help you.
Mom, come here,
What?
Jimmy. Let me punch you in the throat before they take me away. At least they'll have a
Mhm.
reason to be mad at me.
And Roberto, he's got a trust fund, so he pretty much is like, you know what, Charles, let me put me onto some stocks because I know you got stocks. You got stocks, right?
I know it was very short lived, but I at least appreciate the on site activity of Beast just got laid out in like no time flat. I need to do something bigger. I'm the Juggernaut, which we have chosen around. I'm not going to finish that sentence, but y'all know where I'm going. And then Juggernaut got laid out.
I was saying Juggernaut got handled nicely.
He
Also,
did even
did
say the whole
anybody
thing. I'm the
Does
jug.
anybody-
That's
Juggernaut,
it.
It was more like a Juggernaut is always a cannonball trying to kill a fly. It's always not in the right place. It was just like, dude, you're in the yes, you're fighting in the mansion, but you're in the mansion. Kind of not. You couldn't do Colossus. I mean,
No.
But if there was
No.
an episode for him to show up, it's the one where the house gets destroyed.
it would be.
You couldn't even say the whole thing. I'm the jug. That's it. He got laid out.
Like he never got it off his lips. So but yeah, these next two episodes. Oh boy. Just to say, I'm looking forward to these Wednesdays. And I'm glad it's been this week by week thing because it's a smart move. This is
Thank
probably
you.
one of their testing phase because they're going to do Daredevil Born Again the same way. And this is a smart move to say, hey, we're not going to give it to you where you binge the entire season. We want you talking about this week after week after week. It's smart. It's old school thinking and it's smart.
Very much so. And if they continue the smart writing, they'll achieve this. But they can't rush the process. They can't. Because you're going to go right back to the same morass they were sending us before, saying, oh, yeah, we got this show. You should watch it. No, I'm not a kindergartner who's just sit in front of a mindless cartoon. Look, give me something I can talk to my friends about. And I'm in my 50s. Let's go. And I'm doing it now. And I want to continue to do that.
Yeah. I'm all for week. I want the anticipation. I don't mind it.
Yeah,
I can go to the grocery store and get my favorite cereal because I know I get to eat in front of the show. Come on, man. Who else ain't on board with this? Come on.
I was eating Pop-Tarts at the desk. I was just like that, just like the commercial. I was just like, oh my, this is good.
I can't wait for the DVD release because if there's stuff that they had to cut from it, you see, we saw Secret Invasion with one deleted scene from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which whoever cut that's who I need to talk to. Come outside.
That would have made all the more sense. Man, what was you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say I think it's bearing out that the week to week release is just better, just for the community, just for staying in the conversation, because in the midst of this, Fallout happened and people loved Fallout. Fallout had a lot of critical acclaim and it's gone already.
Yeah. I mean, look how they do The Boys and Invincible. Week by week by week. They don't drop the
getting a Spider-Man cameo right after that Invincible finale.
So it's like the old school way of dropping your episodes will work. That popcorn or instant oatmeal mentality, that was very short-lived. Very short-lived. Because even me and Hellspawn talked about it. It was like, sometimes you do want it and it's okay, but at the same time, you talk about it for that week and then it dies off. So if you're talking about, hey, we got this streaming service and you got this show and you can watch it all at once, and it's like, well, what happens next week? What happens the week after that? What if you got 12 episodes for a show? Look, you could be bringing in subscribers. You can keep your viewership up. You're the talk of the X-Men has been the talk of the entire internet for 2 months already.
I keep getting scared to cut these discussions longer, but our retention rate, people don't click off. If they don't watch the full show, they watch the whole X-Men talk start to finish.
Yeah.
Because they vibe with it. All of us are fans of this show for one reason or another, or just combined. It's that level of nostalgia. And I was talking to someone about that before. I miss those Saturday morning days where you didn't have everything right there in front of you. You had to wait a week. You had to wait till next Thursday, next Wednesday, next Saturday to see what you wanted to see. And that's where patience developed. But when you dump it all at once, people will just like, okay, I'll consume it. What's next?
And they got used to it. We all got used to it. We all got used to it. And I'm glad. I'm like, no, maybe you need to revert and retain. If you worried about losing, because that's what happened. People like, oh, I'm gonna get Hulu, I'm gonna get Disney Plus, I'm gonna get Amazon Prime, and just watch the show and then cut it off. I'm gonna get it during the free trial and cut it off.
Go ahead, Tatiana.
I'm just saying, like, it definitely requires good writing. Like, for example, you see Netflix, they did one half of Rebel Moon and the other half of Rebel Moon. Have I seen that second half? Have I?
Not worth it.
So I mean, not worth it. I mean, you need good writing to keep people attention and to bring them coming back. Like, there's so much in one episode of 20 minutes, really, to talk about in X-Men. And then you have all the layers. You have the people who come in from it new, like me, I come from the TV shows and all the movies, and then the comic folks, and they, it's a conversation, it's discussion. That's what makes it.
We here, Tatiana. We here.
And I'm glad she mentioned Rebel Moon, because it's funny because Bo is a fan of Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, which it's not a bad movie. It's not.
It's not.
And that's where that scene where Bastion is a kid and he's hearing the machines. He got that inspiration from Man of Steel. When Clark, when he's in school and he has that same thing happen, he gets over, his powers are kicking in. He's hearing too much. He's seeing too much. And he's just trying to get it in tune. I'm like, I'm so glad you're one of us. We need more like you. We really do. Like, you got James Gunn. He cares about the product and the projects and everything that's going on. Bo obviously cares about what's being out there. And we've always said, Navy, how many times have we said it? It takes us to tell. We're fans of this stuff. It just takes us, and you just have to find the right one that's going to make that work. It just has to be.
And they have to have a willingness to listen. Unfortunately, you've had a lot of showrunners who will just put something out. They don't listen to the public. They don't listen to people who have an honest opinion, not just disparaging, but said, hey, here's an idea. Here's a thought. Maybe you should try this. No, if you've done that before and done it sooner, a lot of properties would have had had much more longevity.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah. And that's what I love about the Spider-Verse, the first one. Like, it was a sleeper hit. A lot of people had very low expectations. They had nothing going into it. And then they come out and they're like, it is good. And you saw like the talk about it building, and they're like, yeah, this is good. And you can tell, it's done by people who care about animation, who care about, Miles Morales, who cares about this property. It was very good.
Cares about the story.
Yeah.
Speaking as a Sonic fan, bullying works.
That's true.
Right now, they're talking about a live-action Kingdom Hearts. They got one concept trailer, and I promise you.
Whoa!
I saw a picture, but you for real? I thought that was a lie.
So they basically had a meeting because Square Enix is like, yes, Final Fantasy is doing good. The Kingdom Hearts mobile game is doing good. Final Fantasy mobile flop. A couple other spinoffs flop. Avengers flop. They're still recouping from. They've experimented a lot. They're still in the red, regardless of their main titles. So now they're finally like, oh, that thing we said we're not going to do 20 years in a row, we keep shooting it down. Let's do like a mix of live action. And everyone was like, you either go full animation or you can do Advent Children. My heart will be my guiding key to my foot up. Everyone's like, y'all got one trailer and this Keyblade is getting raised in arms. We will have a war in y'all comment section. But
it's just like the concept.
Property.
Yeah. The animation. I can't imagine.
It's just like the
That story is a freaking mess.
They've done a manga adaptation that's actually, it's like kind of childish, but it's actually pretty good. And when they went that route, it'd be good. But like what y'all was saying with trying to keep along for long haul, I kind of wish Knuckles would have gone weekly because it was a lot. And my Paramount free trial runs out Saturday, so it's not getting renewed. But like the fact that they made like one of the worst things that I liked it, but like the fact they made Sonic 06 relevant 20 years later.
It's once again, sometimes it's best. And see, I don't know. I look at Prime and wonder, like, why are some of your like Gen V, The Boys, Invincible? Why are you making those series weekly and they perform every time? But then you drop a series like Fallout, which is fantastic, and you either take your time watching it or you binge it, and then once you're done, it's done. By the way, shout out to Walter Goggins. My God, I'm so used to you playing a bad guy, dude. That was fantastic.
Oh, he's awesome. I'm sorry, he's not a bad guy in this one because I'm only up to episode 5. To me, he's a bad guy.
Just watch it.
Okay, enough said.
Just watch it.
Like,
but see, it's like Sony. It's like that. It's like that concept trailer they had for Batman Beyond over at Sony Animation. There's somebody in that boardroom that's doing the same thing I'm doing. Like, no, do it. Oh my God, you failed. Do you know how many people want to see that? Like, you already You had Michael Keaton in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Your hands, where he could have been. He's at the age that Bruce is for Batman Beyond. He's there, and y'all didn't give us Batman Beyond.
Now you got people buying the second Crisis movie just for Terry.
That's
He's not in it very long, but they at least got the original actor, and then you got Kevin and Mark coming back for the third one.
Yeah, it's just sometimes they need to go talk to somebody. Needs to talk to WB and just say, hey, don't.
WB is the true villains here. Let's just
as we've learned through every episode and
you're just like, is Walter Hamada back there? Is he still back there? No, it's Zaslav. What are they, bunk buddies or something? Look,
wow. I need Bo.
Wow.
Because, I need him to have like an airtight contract that says you cannot snatch anyone from my team just because we're doing good.
Yeah, and there's actually people rallying for the team that's doing X-Men 97. They're like, yo, this is so good. I think this is what you're looking for your live action on a grander scale.
Do what DC's refused to do for 20 years.
Already, What If has performed very well. X-Men 97 has performed extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
They're very much on their way saying, all right, DC, it might be our turn now.
Right.
It just might be our turn now.
I would have said DC had the stronger animation studio and the weaker movies. And now it seems like that's flipping.
Yeah.
With Marvel. With Marvel having the stronger animation at this moment and iffy movies.
They need it.
We're waiting on Marvel Jesus.
Look, the fact that Bo wrote the first and the second season, and I think they said part of the third. We already know we're locked in for something. So
I need you to lock season 2 and 3 scripts in a vault. Don't give them anything.
You say they come up, well, who are you? Somebody sent me. No.
I'm waiting for the summer.
Turn back around.
I'm waiting for the summer because the major cons, they're going to have a lot of chatter. And I'm telling you, like San Diego, they're going to be ridiculous,
right?
With all of it. So we'll see.
Yep. So
even if they send the Sister Samurais, Bo, don't give up nothing.
Right. Come talk to us first. On that note,
wrap-up protocol initiated, Captain.
All right, Tatiana OB, thank you for coming on and talk about Sister Samurai. If you want to tell everybody where they can find you, number one.
Yes. All right. So you can find me across all the social medias on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever it's called nowadays. On
Twitter X.
The dark ones.
Yeah, a play on my name, Obey the Author. And then you can also check out my website, TatianaOB.com.
There it is. We're getting this book. I suggest you all get that book.
And thank you to everyone who's purchased it so far because I get the emails in. Thank you.
We like supporting our people over here. We really do not play. We do not play. Like when we see something and we like it and we support it, like we don't play.
Yeah, I mean, like for Sister Samurai, like I know we kind of talked about with X-Men, like having it being for the fans but being easily digestible for newcomers. Like specifically for this, I asked people to come read it before I publish it, and I had about maybe like 15 Black women come out and read this book for me, and it's like, okay, so it is very intentional to be accessible to people who don't know Afro Samurai, but it's just here for a Black lady, just
and that's all. Sometimes you just need that one piece. That's that one piece to bring people in, and they're just like, what? I wasn't expecting that. I like that.
Yeah, then it also got all the Easter eggs for the fans. So I hope you enjoy it. I've had a really good response to it so far, and my Black girl nerds, they like, you did it. I'm like,
well, I will say this as a Black male nerd, this door is always open for you to come in. This is a safe space anyway. And we always enjoy projects like this. So whenever you want to come back on, whenever you want to talk about a new project, whenever you just want to hang out, the bay doors will be open for you. So,
right.
so thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
in. Lainey, the grid of horror. Talk to the people.
First, Tatiana, thank you, because like if your book is just as bubbly and awesome as your personality, that's just gonna rock. So yes, I'm excited to get my shirt and my headband, and I'm gonna tag you. Absolutely.
We
But,
tend to go broke for our people, but it's worth it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I got several books that I don't even know if I'm gonna get to this year. But once I do, okay. But I will wear that shirt and I will wear that headband. That's a fact.
Oh, thank you.
Yo, I am Lainey from Geek by Heart. Me and my husband run Geek by Heart on YouTube and IG and TikTok, so you can find us there. We talk about movies. We talk about trailer reactions. We also play video games. My husband plays Geek Gears of War. He likes that series, so he is doing Gears of War. He's already done number 1, and he's now in the midst of doing number 2. When I have time, I do Hogwarts Legacy. Happy International Happy Powder Day. It was the day that the battle came and went, and we lost some people, but solidarity to that. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. Whoop-de freaking do. Talk to the people.
Hello, quick and simple. You can find me at. I got it wrong this time.
There it is.
Yeah,
Always the reverse.
On Instagram and TikTok for as long as possible. And if you're looking for,
there you go.
There you go.
Oh,
If
check
you're
it
looking
out.
for nerdy nails and press-ons, you can also find me on Instagram at Fresh Pressed by Z. And also, I'm looking forward to my signed copy of the book as well. Hardcover, because you said it was pretty. I got it.
Oh, Navy.
I'll do it simple. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, bloods of all ages, good evening. It's me, the face, the beard, the life. It's what I do. If you want to see what the crap I'm up to, or who I'm supporting, or who I'm uplifting, please come check me out over here. I am going to be streaming more on Twitch. I'm going to be continuing to play Side 9 Happiness for Apocalypse until the next installment comes through, because the word is the company would like to sponsor me, so I'm looking forward to it. So that game is insane. If you've never seen me play it, and I've already been told they want me to see, some people want to see me play a horror game. Why would you do that to yourself? But I digress.
It's fun.
You know what?
It would be the grill to horror to say that.
I know, right? She's like, he lost his mind. Yeah, it's your fault. But I would say to everyone, you are amazing. I love what you've done. I love what you've done. And I already started following you, so just know I'm not being free.
You're not aware. Your mic either.
I think your mic came unplugged.
What?
Oh, that's weird.
What the bars?
It went like
you were underwater all of a sudden.
Low.
I didn't even move. What the ham sandwich? Look, I'm gonna need y'all's help. I'm saying it again. Tatiana, you're amazing. Okay, straight up. So I'll say this to everyone: if you are someone who's creating what you love and you want to just move forward, don't stop. You're going to come across obstacles and pitfalls and any type of other problems along the way. But if you stop, then every naysayer who says you couldn't do it will be proven right. So prove them bastards wrong. Keep going, keep pushing, make something worthwhile, and do it for yourself.
There you go. Far.
You can find me on all platforms underneath this name. I post on Mondays because Mondays are terrible, and I try to make them a little bit less. So latest post is a tribute to the Godfather. Sorry, someone was walking in. Godfather himself, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama, when he got some cards professionally graded, because that's my new hobby. Also because physical media is dead, and I can't find anything to collect these days. And Funkos, I don't need that big. I don't need them.
Oh my god!
But I also do the editing behind the scenes work for the Blurred's Eye View page. So we post on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays when we are off. We are live Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I will try to get the highlights of this conversation, trailer reaction out tomorrow. We will see, because apparently YouTube is having some master mode glitch in the system and everyone can't upload on time tonight. So I got some stuff in the chamber. If y'all don't get what y'all want tomorrow, it'll be there Monday. YouTube. Also, everyone's pages, if you go to the home tab on our channel, everyone can easily be found there.
YouTube, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Don't make me come down there.
Stop giving the money to the weirdos.
Ma'am.
I don't know why Funko was just attacked. My son Loki does not appreciate it.
The fact it was in Han's reach.
The fact that he has his daughter and the box.
Yeah, he has got 2 kids in his hands.
We'll be watching his kids and collection.
I love my children equally. You can find me at Mayhem Media, MAYEHEM Media. I'm not going to do the whole spiel because my little broke best friend has passed out in my lap. I make content for people like myself with little broke best friends and wives and lives, and can't spend 27 minutes watching a breakdown of a 2-minute trailer on New Rockstars. No shade. So the most important thing I like to discuss is mental health. So please, as I always say, take your meds, take your PTO, take a deep breath, let that shit go.
Right on, right on. Oh, thank you everybody for tuning in. This is your man on the wall, Chris Fury. Thank you to Tatiana. Go check her out. Check out that website. She will be hearing from me after tonight for the book. Don't be nasty people.
Wow. We weren't even going to see.
Sometimes you have to. I'm not worried about the crew. I'm worried about some of the people out there. Bama. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for showing your support on the YouTube channel. Go check us out. Leave a review. Leave a donation. Leave something that makes us happy. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Show all that support. Tell a mother. Tell your father. Tell a Telegram. They don't do that anymore. But you know what I'm trying to say. Get all that stuff out there. Put the word out there. Help us come see you at a con. You never know what you might get out of that meeting. We like giving away stuff. So thank you to Tatiana. You're amazing. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you to the crew. You guys are always amazing. Yeah. So with that being said, remember to watch us every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Twitch, and IG. And don't forget to check us out on Always Press Record. Check us out wherever you listen to your podcast. Download a show, listen to it, piss your boss off. Trust me, you don't want to stay there. I know you don't. That's why you're listening to us. And until then, remember to educate yourself and others, entertain yourself and others, and most of all, encourage yourself and others. I'm Chris Fury, the man on the wall. I'm with the crew. You can always hear me with Midnight Comics or with Talk Story to Me doing voice work. So listen out for that. And until then, we are out of here.